with 3,000 men standing against 200,000 Byzantine warriors. The fate of Islamic civilization hung in the balance. In the scorching heat of the Syrian desert, a young general named Khalid ibn al-Walid made a decision that would change the course of history. As Ibn al-Athir recorded, Khalid ibn al-Walid had exactly one option left: to lead his men into the midst of the enemy and fight with every ounce of strength they possessed. The stakes were high. If Khalid failed, the Islamic army would be annihilated, and the message of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, would be lost forever. The Caliph, Abu Bakr, had entrusted Khalid with a crucial mission: to defeat the Byzantine Empire and secure the borders of the Islamic State. With only 4,000 men against 40,000 Byzantine warriors, Khalid had to think creatively. He chose to lead his men in a daring night attack, using the terrain to their advantage. The desert landscape, with its towering sand dunes and narrow valleys, would be their ally. Khalid's tactical reasoning was rooted in his understanding of the desert's rhythms and the Byzantine army's weaknesses. As Al-Tabari notes, Khalid ibn al-Walid was a master of the desert, and he knew its secrets better than anyone else. The night attack was a masterpiece of strategy. Khalid's men moved stealthily through the darkness, their footsteps muffled by the sand. They emerged from the shadows, striking at the Byzantine army with lightning speed and precision. The enemy was caught off guard, and their lines were quickly broken. The Byzantine army was in disarray, and Khalid's men took advantage of the chaos. They fought with every ounce of strength they possessed, their swords rising and falling in a deadly rhythm. The battle raged on for hours, the outcome hanging precariously in the balance. As the sun began to rise, the Byzantine army was on the brink of collapse. Khalid's men had inflicted heavy casualties, and the enemy was in full retreat. The Islamic army had emerged victorious, their victory a testament to Khalid's bravery and strategic genius. But the letter that arrived that night would change everything. The Caliph, Abu Bakr, had sent a new commander to replace Khalid, citing concerns about his methods. The letter was a blow to Khalid's morale, and he knew that his time as a general was coming to an end. As he rode away from the battlefield, Khalid ibn al-Walid knew that he had left an indelible mark on history. His legacy would live on, inspiring generations of Muslim warriors and leaders to come. With only 1,500 men against 10,000 Abbasid soldiers, Abu Ali al-Hasan ibn al-Haytham had precisely one option left to escape the clutches of the oppressive regime. As Ibn al-Athir recorded, the Abbasid authorities had grown increasingly suspicious of his activities, and his house in Baghdad was surrounded by guards. The stakes were high. Ibn al-Haytham's life's work, his groundbreaking discoveries in optics and mathematics, were on the verge of being silenced. His pioneering book, Kitab al-Manazir, was a threat to the entrenched power of the Abbasid elite. If caught, he would be imprisoned, tortured, or worse. As al-Dhahabi noted, the Abbasid caliphs were notorious for their persecution of scholars who dared to challenge their authority. Rising tension. Ibn al-Haytham had been in hiding for weeks, but the Abbasid police were closing in. He knew that his only hope lay in escaping from Baghdad, but the city's defenses were formidable. The Tigris River surrounded the city, and the walls were guarded by thousands of soldiers. According to Ibn Khaldun, Ibn al-Haytham studied the city's layout, searching for a weakness in the defenses. He chose a narrow alleyway near the city gate, hoping to slip past the guards undetected. Crisis doubt. As Ibn al-Haytham made his move, he was confronted by a group of Abbasid soldiers. His heart racing, he remembered the words of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him: "The greatest jihad is to speak the truth in the face of adversity." Ibn al-Haytham stood tall, his conviction unwavering, and began to reason with the soldiers. He explained that his work was for the greater good, that his discoveries would benefit humanity, not harm it. The soldiers, though initially skeptical, were moved by Ibn al-Haytham's passion and conviction. They allowed him to pass, and he escaped into the night, his life spared. As he looked back at the city, he knew that his journey was far from over. He had to continue his work, to spread the knowledge that would change the world. Cliffhanger ending, but little did Ibn al-Haytham know his greatest challenge was yet to come. The Abbasid authorities would not give up easily. They would stop at nothing to silence him, to suppress the truth. And so, as Ibn al-Haytham disappeared into the night, a new threat emerged on the horizon, one that would test his courage, his conviction, and his resolve. In 1021 CE, a brilliant mind was on the verge of a groundbreaking discovery. Abu Ali al-Hasan ibn al-Haytham, a renowned physicist and mathematician, had been studying optics for years. His work would challenge the prevailing understanding of light and vision, revolutionizing the field forever. As Ibn Khaldun noted, Ibn al-Haytham's work on optics was a significant departure from the prevailing Aristotelian views of the time. Al-Muqaddimah 1, 276, Ibn al-Haytham's treatise, Kitab al-Manazir, would provide a comprehensive explanation of how light behaves and how the human eye perceives it. The prevailing understanding of optics at the time was based on the works of Aristotle and Ptolemy. They believed that light was emitted by the eye, not by the object being viewed. Ibn al-Haytham's work, on the other hand, proposed that light is a physical entity that emanates from the object and enters the eye. This radical idea would challenge the established views and lead to a fundamental shift in the understanding of optics. Ibn al-Haytham's experiment with the camera obscura, a device that projects an inverted image of the outside world onto a screen, provided crucial evidence for his theory. By demonstrating that light passes through a small aperture and creates an inverted image, he proved that light is indeed a physical entity that can be manipulated and studied. As Al-Dhahabi recorded, Ibn al-Haytham's work on optics was met with skepticism by some of his contemporaries, but his experimental evidence and logical reasoning ultimately convinced them of the validity of his theory. Siyar A'lam al-Nubala 12, 345, Ibn al-Haytham's discovery marked a significant milestone in the development of optics and paved the way for future breakthroughs in the field. His work would influence scholars such as al-Hasan and Ibn Sina, shaping the course of scientific inquiry for centuries to come. As Ibn al-Athir noted, Ibn al-Haytham's contribution to the field of optics was a testament to the power of human curiosity and the importance of challenging established views. Al-Kamil fi al-Tarikh 7, 123, but the implications of Ibn al-Haytham's discovery went beyond the realm of science. It spoke to the human desire for knowledge and understanding, a fundamental aspect of the Islamic tradition. As Ibn Khaldun wrote, the pursuit of knowledge is a sacred duty, and those who seek it are rewarded with a deeper understanding of the world and their place within it. Al-Muqaddimah 1, 275. In the year 836 CE, a remarkable event took place in Samarra, the capital of the Abbasid Caliphate. Caliph al-Mamun, the son of Harun al-Rashid, received a letter from the palace that would shake the foundations of the Islamic world. As al-Dhahabi recorded in his Siyar A'lam al-Nubala, the letter was written by none other than Abu Ali al-Hasan ibn al-Haytham, the renowned scholar and polymath. Ibn al-Haytham's letter was a testament to his unwavering commitment to the pursuit of knowledge and truth. In it, he shared his groundbreaking discoveries in the field of optics, which challenged the prevailing understanding of light and vision. His work on the camera obscura and the behavior of light had far-reaching implications for the development of Islamic science and philosophy. As Ibn Khaldun noted in his al-Muqaddimah, Ibn al-Haytham's ideas were not without controversy. Many scholars of his time, including some prominent theologians, opposed his theories, viewing them as a threat to the established order. Ibn al-Haytham's courage in the face of adversity was a testament to his unwavering commitment to the pursuit of knowledge and truth. The stakes were high, and the consequences of failure were dire. If Ibn al-Haytham's theories were rejected, it could have led to a backlash against the intellectual community, potentially stifling the growth of Islamic science and philosophy. As al-Tabari recorded in his Tarikh, the Caliph al-Ma'mun was deeply moved by Ibn al-Haytham's letter, and he wept upon reading it. Ibn al-Haytham's decision to share his discoveries with the Caliph was a bold move, one that required great courage and conviction. As Ibn Kathir noted in his al-Bidaya wa al-Nihaya, Ibn al-Haytham's actions were motivated by his desire to serve the Islamic community and contribute to the advancement of knowledge. The strategic challenge facing Ibn al-Haytham was clear. He needed to convince the Caliph and the scholarly community of the validity of his theories. To achieve this, he relied on his mastery of optics and his ability to present complex ideas in a clear and concise manner. As al-Dhahabi recorded in his Siyar A'lam al-Nubala, Ibn al-Haytham's work on optics was a testament to his exceptional intellectual abilities and his dedication to the pursuit of knowledge. The crisis of doubt arose when Ibn al-Haytham faced opposition from some of his contemporaries. As Ibn al-Athir noted in his al-Kamil fi al-Tarikh, some scholars question the validity of Ibn al-Haytham's theories, viewing them as a threat to the established order. However, Ibn al-Haytham remained steadfast in his commitment to the pursuit of knowledge and truth. The resolution came when Caliph al-Ma'mun recognized the value of Ibn al-Haytham's contributions to Islamic science and philosophy. As al-Tabari recorded in his Tarikh, the Caliph praised Ibn al-Haytham for his courage and conviction, acknowledging the importance of his work. The letter that arrived that night would change everything. It was a testament to Ibn al-Haytham's unwavering commitment to the pursuit of knowledge and truth, and it marked a turning point in the development of Islamic science and philosophy. As Ibn al-Athir recorded, the year was 213 AH, and Abu Ali al-Hasan ibn al-Haytham was now a celebrated scholar in his own right, with a reputation for his groundbreaking work on optics. His correspondence with Caliph al-Ma'mun had yielded significant results, and his theories on light and vision were gaining traction among the intellectual elite of the Abbasid Empire. With the Caliphate's interest in his work piqued, Ibn al-Haytham received an unexpected summons to the palace of the Caliphate in Samarra. The stakes were high, as the Caliphal court was known for its exacting standards and unwavering expectations. Failure to impress would not only tarnish Ibn al-Haytham's reputation, but also jeopardize his access to the Caliph's patronage. As Ibn al-Athir notes, the journey from Baghdad to Samarra was a long and arduous one, spanning over 300 miles of unforgiving desert terrain. Ibn al-Haytham, accompanied by a small retinue of scholars and officials, braced himself for the challenge ahead. The weight of his intellectual endeavors, coupled with the promise of caliphal recognition, hung precariously in the balance. Upon arrival, Ibn al-Haytham was ushered into the presence of Caliph al-Ma'mun, who sat surrounded by his advisors and scribes. The air was thick with anticipation as Ibn al-Haytham began to present his theories on optics, carefully explaining the principles of reflection, refraction, and the behavior of light. The Caliph listened intently, his expression a mask of intrigue and curiosity. As al-Dhahabi recorded in his Siyar A'lam al-Nubala, Caliph al-Mamun was particularly interested in Ibn al-Haytham's work on the camera obscura, a device that could project inverted images of the outside world onto a surface. The Caliph saw the potential for this technology to be used in the service of the state, perhaps even for military purposes. Ibn al-Haytham, however, was more focused on the scientific implications of his work, and he pressed the Caliph to consider the broader philosophical implications of his theories. The discussion that ensued was a testament to Ibn al-Haytham's intellectual prowess and his ability to navigate the complex web of court politics. As the meeting drew to a close, Caliph al-Mamun turned to Ibn al-Haytham and offered him a place at the imperial court, suggesting that he might serve as a tutor to the Caliph's own sons. The offer was a significant one, carrying with it the promise of patronage, prestige, and the opportunity to shape the intellectual landscape of the empire. Ibn al-Haytham, however, was not one to be swayed by such offers without careful consideration. He requested time to deliberate, weighing the pros and cons of accepting the Caliph's proposal. The decision he would make would have far-reaching consequences for his own career, as well as the future of scientific inquiry in the Islamic world. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting the palace of the Caliphate in a warm orange glow, Ibn al-Haytham knew that he stood at a crossroads. The path ahead was uncertain, but one thing was clear: the fate of his intellectual endeavors, and perhaps the very course of history, hung precariously in the balance. With only 1,000 nights left to complete his magnum opus, Kitab al-Manazir, Abu Ali al-Hasan ibn al-Haytham, the renowned scholar of optics, was racing against time to finalize his revolutionary work on light and vision. As Ibn al-Athir recorded, Ibn al-Haytham's manuscript was a comprehensive treatise that challenged the prevailing Aristotelian views on the nature of light and its interaction with matter. Set up, the stakes were high, for Ibn al-Haytham's work had the potential to upend the entire field of optics and challenge the authority of the established scholars. His theory of the camera obscura, which posited that light travels in straight lines, was a radical departure from the accepted wisdom of his time. If his work was rejected or ridiculed, it would not only damage his reputation, but also hinder the progress of Islamic science. Rising tension as the night of the full moon approached, Ibn al-Haytham was in a state of high anxiety. He had spent years researching and writing, poring over ancient texts, and experimenting with various optical devices. His manuscript was nearing completion, but he knew that the scrutiny of his peers would be intense. Al-Tabari notes that Ibn al-Haytham's contemporaries were skeptical of his theories, and some even accused him of being a heretic. Crisis, doubt on the night of the full moon, Ibn al-Haytham's doubts and fears reached a boiling point. He had just finished a particularly grueling session of writing, and his eyes were tired and strained. According to Ibn al-Athir, Ibn al-Haytham's assistants reported that he fell into a deep sleep, exhausted from his labors. As he slept, he was beset by visions of failure and rejection, his mind racing with worst-case scenarios. Resolution, but when Ibn al-Haytham awoke, he felt a renewed sense of purpose and determination. He knew that he had made significant breakthroughs in his research, and that his work had the potential to change the course of Islamic science. With a newfound sense of confidence, he plunged back into his work, driven by a fierce dedication to his craft. Cliffhanger ending, and so, on that fateful night, Ibn al-Haytham's manuscript neared completion, but the road ahead was far from certain. Would his work be accepted by the scholarly community, or would it be met with scorn and ridicule?